Ya van días y varias semanas.
He hasn't given no response, and it's been days, and it's been weeks, and he You think, Sarah, this canyon right here?
It's absolutely incredible. I haven't been to Tijuana in a lot of years, and seeing how wide open it is. I mean, I don't know if you could turn the camera around and show everyone just how wide open it is. It's incredible.
A couple of questions. So. Rashida, what is your opinion on the massive child trafficking that is happening? Y espero logren su objetivo de la justicia a su país. Luchen por su país. Say they basically fight for your country. Están bloqueando el acceso. ¡Viva! La Policía Federal o la autoridad nos está deteniendo el acceso y nos está deteniendo el paso para poder cruzar hacia el Zócalo, señores.
How's everybody doing? Good evening to everybody. God bless everybody that is watching. God bless our country of Mexico, our city of Tijuana. And God bless the United States of America. Let's share this video out, people. Censorship, it is bad. It's been bad for the past couple of days. And it's amazing what they're doing right now. It's just unbelievable what they're doing. I bet that nobody received notifications. It's just upsetting. But, you know, if you hit that like button and if you share the video, we will continue to do this live feed and we will continue to give out the news. How's everybody doing? God bless everybody that is watching. Thank you so much for joining in. Has been a couple of days, really, you know, in terms to journalism in Tijuana and in terms to journalism in the North Border. It has been difficult for journalists over here and also for the Union of Journalists in the city of Tijuana, as two journalists have been attacked, also murdered. One of them, sadly, was accused of running a cartel pages. And ultimately, after that, when he was accused because of that, a murder happened. And another one that, you know, in the first one, to just be emphatic on it, there's no, it's an absolute, you know, it's an absolute horrible thing to accuse somebody of running a page with this kind of circumstance. It will lead into death or a possible, you know, threat for your life. The first one, Margarito Martinez Escrivel, he put a protection claim, and also he spoke about his insecurity and how he felt insecure in the country and also in the state of Baja California. And the next one, she was an impeccable with the trajectory of a journalist, Lourdes Maldonado, who she was the first correspondent of the emblematic and historical journalist Jacobo Saludowski. She was murdered also. But that was different. That was a political thing. With her, with Margarito Martinez Esquivel, was the accusation of running Facebook pages that they used to expose the organized crime. It's how dangerous it is to accuse another individual of running a Facebook page without having the credible evidence and just relying on hearsay. It's just unbelievable. And this has cost his life. Yesterday, we were there as all reporters, broadcasters, and journalists themselves protesting and manifesting in a way that they thought that it will never be, people were going to be that supportive of this protest. And yesterday, all the broadcasters, all reporters, all, journalists, all camera people that work for mainstream media, they were there in the middle of a plaza that is called the Scissors Monument. El Monumento a la Madre, el Monumento a las Tijeras. And that is specifically where the manifestation started. All of them, their purpose was to basically walk all the way to the Fiscal General of the Republic. And then after that, after walking to the Fiscal General of the Republic, make a statement to the authorities that this is delicate, this is sensitive, and this justice needs to be found and justice needs to be done. Let the people that they have created this animosity into journalists, find them justice and get them into justice. As this continues, people, this is the amount of individuals that they were there. I cannot count. It's my caravan experience, not comparing nothing like this, but comparing as walking through streets. I believe that it was a good 300 to 500 people there. And ultimately, the majority of them were journalists, broadcasters, reporters, and also civil, public, that they were manifesting themselves for the assassinations towards the Tijuana journalists. First one, more than 20 years of trajectory of photographing the violent crimes in our city. And the second one, a lady in all entire world and the entirety and the integrate in all the sense of the word. That is Lourdes Maldonado. She had a impeccable trajectory in journalism. And as we marched with them, we thought, what is going to happen next? What is going to be the next thing? This is a fight against freedom of speech. And then ultimately, right now, for everybody to know, Mexico, it is the number one country for assassinations towards journalists, reporters, broadcasters. And a lot of journalists spoke. This is one of them. Jose Ibarra, that is known for Siempre en la Noticia. That is his network. That is his network that he works, that he built up. And Jose Ibarra has worked with so many international also networks. He's a great journalist. And these are his words. He said on this panel, we are here because this is the epicenter of what happened. Let us hear him speak right here as he is in the middle of all these cameras. And, the journalist union never thought that it was going to be this much of amount of people going there and protesting and backing up all journalists, broadcasters, reporters. But yes, there were a lot of them. Here's him speaking about this topic. It's a lot of emotions right now, a lot of anger that involve the journalistic union right now. First of all, I'd like to thank the people that said they came over here and united with us.
y que como epicentro desafortunadamente tiene la ciudad de Tijuana.
This was a national mobilization, and sadly, it is because the epicenter is right here in our city of Tijuana.
Y digo desafortunadamente porque 2 de los 3 compañeros periodistas que han sido asesinados en este 2022 son precisamente de esta ciudad.
And I'm saying epicenter because 2 out of the 3 journalists that they have been assassinated, and starting the year 2022, 2 of them have been in Tijuana. They lived in Tijuana, they worked in Tijuana, and they have created a career in Tijuana.
Que hacían su labor en este municipio. Margarito Martínez Esquivel, conocido entre nosotros como 44, y Lourdes Maldonado. 2 compañeros que públicamente externaron su preocupación, que públicamente dijeron que temían por su vida.
2 colleagues that, they exercised their right to freedom of speech, and they said publicly that they were afraid for their lives. Publicly, they said that they were, feel threatened for their lives. Publicly, they said that.
Y que hoy lamentablemente no están con nosotros.
And that today, sadly, they are not with us anymore.
El primer punto que se tomó por parte del gremio periodístico, que no es 1, 2 o 3 personas, somos todos.
And the first thing about the journalist union is that it's not only 1, 2, or 3 people. It is all of us that we are right here protesting for this. So this is, sadly, what has been occurring in our city of Tijuana. Sadly, this is what has been happening. Share this video out. Like this video. Please share this video and like this video. This is what has been occurring, sadly, in our city of Tijuana. And it has ultimately exacerbated into the cost of manifestation. And this is not a protest. This is just, and it is a lifting of the voice for people to do their job. For the fiscal general of the republic and the fiscal to do their job. This is the union of journalists. And ultimately, this is for all journalists to lift their voice and to have a voice. And to find justice for the assassinations and the cruel, coward way that these individuals, these people, these journalists, that they dedicated themselves to inform the public, to give them a voice, and to also to find justice. We walked yesterday on this protest and manifestation, or calling, as whatever you want to name it. And the first thing that, as I saw, it was a lot of people that they were there. A lot of, mainstream media was there. And people getting together and people coming together, and ultimately now, basically, people uniting together to, create this message that they needs to be justice. Immediately, there needs to be justice. One of them was a journalist that is known as Alex Bachman. He has hundreds of thousands of followers. And he is a well-known journalist in our city of Tijuana. And this is his point of view. I met him yesterday. He's a really nice man. He's a really, particularly well-prepared journalist. And this was his statement of what happened yesterday. He was really upset. He said, I've been looking also on undisclosed, behind the scenes. He told me, I've been looking for protection. And he has said it also publicly, that he has been looking also for protection. And the system in our country of Mexico, it is so broken. It does not work. The system in our country of Mexico, it does not work in terms to the protection protocol, the mechanism of protection protocol. It does not work. And this is him explaining this, this video was in all mainstream media. And this is him explaining that.
Investigación, pertenezco a Conciencia Radio, CR Noticias, somos periodistas independientes porque pues ya trabajar abiertamente en algún medio controlado por el Estado es imposible.
This is really important what he says. Look what he says, and I support him 1,000%. He says, my name is Alex Mann. I work with Conciencia Radio, that is Radio Conscience, and we are independent media. And we are independent media because it is impossible to work with mainstream media because of the control of the state. This is how important it is, how independent media has become so important in Mexico because of the enormous censorship that occurs in our country, of the enormous control and manipulation of information that we cannot expose and we cannot speak because there's a lot of control. Of course, there's monopolies and there's powers of people that they cannot be exposed in the way that we want to exercise our freedom of speech. So this is him. And ultimately, you will see him, how he expresses himself and you know, in the way that he says, you know what, we have a problem. We have a huge problem.
Nos han fallado las autoridades. Ha fallado el Estado.
The authorities had failed us. The state has failed us.
Y cuando un Estado fallido ya no puede garantizar la libertad de expresión, estamos erosionando ese derecho que tenemos como personas.
And when the state is failing us and we are not defending ourselves, we are practically giving up, you know, basically our right of freedom of speech.
Periodistas, reporteros, gráficos, o usamos la pluma o una computadora o la misma voz para nosotros explorar lo que realmente sucede en nuestra sociedad. Recriminados por hacerlo, amenazados o simplemente estar ya con el temor de poder hacer nuestro trabajo es una de las cosas por las cuales yo le he dado seguimiento a eso.
The way that things are being portrayed right now, that we are being threatened, that we cannot exercise our voice, and the things that we cannot say anymore, the way that we cannot come out anymore. You know, this goes out for all journalists or reporters or communicators or broadcasters and even graphic designer journalists. This is why I come over here, because I want to exercise my right and say this.
Tenemos ahorita México en el año 2021, ¿sí? Por tercer año consecutivo, está en los primeros 2 lugares a nivel internacional de asesinato de periodistas.
Mexico right now, for the third year in a row, we are in the top 5 in the first places of assassinations towards journalists.
Pertenecía al mecanismo de protección a periodistas.
I was in the mechanism of protection to journalists.
Por una situación de altísimo riesgo que rebasó la seguridad nacional del mismo.
The same situation that has surpassed security, national security. That's why I was in the protection protocols.
Como Estado mexicano, por mi cobertura de asuntos de terrorismo internacional.
For my coverage of, you know, particularly since the sensitive topic of national terrorism.
Okay. Yo me salí del mecanismo en el momento que entró López Obrador al poder.
I got out of the mechanism because since this president came in, I got out of that mechanism.
Que sabíamos que iban a tratar de comprometer la base de datos de todos los periodistas en riesgo en el país.
Because ultimately this administration was going to compromise all the database of all the journalists in the country that they were under this protection of protocols.
Ahora, cuando yo vi el asesinato indiscriminado, mucho por arriba de la norma de los presidentes anteriores, sin comparar.
Now, when I saw this, you know, murdered, undiscriminated murder, you know, not counting the past presidents.
No porque haya una distinción de partidos ni nada.
Not saying because of distinction of political parties right now.
Sí, nos dimos cuenta que la curva era ascendente para México.
We got to know and we were watching that, you know, violence was ascending in our country of Mexico.
Algo está pasando muy grave con el Estado.
Something is happening really serious with the state.
El punto aquí es de que México está igual que Afganistán y Pakistán.
The point right here is, and look what he says, the point right here is that Mexico it's exactly the same as Afghanistan and Pakistan.
En asesinato de periodistas.
In terms to assassinations towards journalists.
Estamos en estado de guerra.
We are in the state of war.
Entonces, si nosotros en un estado urbano de guerra civil,
if us in an urban state of war,
nosotros no vamos a tener una garantía de protección.
if we are going to have a guarantee of protection,
Exigimos a las autoridades
we exercise and we demand the authorities
que ya desempolven la ley de uso de armas de fuego para periodistas.
that please give us the right to carry a gun to journalists. Please stop blocking that right. Give us that right to carry a gun towards journalists, please.
Y exigimos
And we demand
en este país que se nos adiestre y se nos capacite psicológicamente con el uso táctico de armas de fuego.
and we demand that this country, this administration, or whoever's in, they give us the capacity, they give us the training so we can know how to use a gun and we can know how to defend ourselves, us journalists.
Porque si vamos a estar reportando en las calles de Tijuana,
Because if we are going to start reporting in the streets of Tijuana
en las calles de Culiacán,
or the streets of Culiacan
o en las calles de Tapachula,
or in the streets of Tapachula
o en las calles de la Ciudad de México,
or in the streets of Mexico,
quiero estar armado yo también.
I want to be armed also. I want to be protected also.
Porque si a mí me viene un agresor, yo lo puedo repeler también.
Because if somebody, an aggressor, tries to be aggressive towards me, I can defend myself also
Con el uso responsable
with the responsible use,
y bien administrado de un arma de fuego.
with the responsible use of a firearm.
Nosotros no tenemos por qué vivir así,
We don't have to be in fear. We don't have to be living in fear.
con un celular de pánico
Yes, with a cell phone and a panic button
que no sirve.
that it does not work.
El celular de pánico es solamente un sistema de control del Estado.
It's the cell phone panic button. It is only a system of the control of the state.
¿Cómo sabían que la patrulla se había ido? Lourdes Maldonado. Sí, es una pérdida lamentable para
Lourdes Maldonado, the journalist, the more respected journalist Lourdes Maldonado.
todos los periodistas del mundo, porque estamos ya cansados. Eso no se vale.
We are exhausted. We are exhausted, all of us, that we don't have no security whatsoever.
Y esto no se puede quedar así. Yo le escribí un Twitter al señor López el día de hoy.
I wrote to López Obrador at Twitter. I wrote to him at Twitter.
Y le dije, sobre ti corre la sangre de Lourdes Maldonado.
Because of you, and it is on your hands, that blood is running on your hands of the responsibility of Lourdes, of the death of Lourdes Maldonado. I support you, Alex, with it. I completely support you, colleague, with this.
Andrés Manuel López Obrador, y quiero verte mañana en la mañana a ver qué dices. Ay, nos duele a todos, por favor.
And in the next morning, Andrés Manuel is going to be, oh, it hurts us all, please.
Esta gente no le duele nada.
These people, they don't have a heart. It doesn't hurt them at all.
Para nosotros sí nos duele. Porque
But to us, it hurts us.
nosotros tenemos que salir de aquí a ganarnos el pan de cada día.
Because to us, we have to go out and report and make a living out of, working as reporters.
Y cuando escribimos nos da miedo ya.
And when we write, we are afraid now.
Tenemos que autocensurarnos.
We have to auto-censor us.
No podemos reportar los hechos.
We cannot report the facts.
Está pasando.
What is happening?
Ahora, si ella estaba en el mecanismo de protección al periodista,
And now, if she was in the protection mechanism,
¿por qué no le ofrecieron una escolta armada? Yo
why they did not offer her a somebody to protect her, that it was carrying a gun, a bodyguard? Why they did not get her a bodyguard?
pedí mi escolta armada
I asked also for my bodyguard, an armed bodyguard, also to be escorting me.
constantemente y la Secretaría de Gobernación me la negó.
And the Secretary of Government neglected a bodyguard for my safety and my life.
Constantemente decía que mi caso no lo ameritaba.
Constantly, they were saying that my case, it was not meritable for me to have a bodyguard, an armed bodyguard.
El mecanismo de periodistas depende de la Subsecretaría de Gobernación.
The mechanism of protection of journalists, it depends of the Secretary of Government.
En materia de derechos humanos, Alejandro Encinas, tú tienes mucho que ver con esto. Si comprometieron la base de datos del mecanismo, todos los periodistas que hemos estado en esa base de datos ya nos pusiste en riesgo.
Alejandro Encinas, the head chief of the Department of Human Rights, if you compromise that database, you are compromising all the lives right now of all journalists that they're under that protection.
Ya saben todos nuestros movimientos,
They know all of our movements,
todos nuestros detalles,
all of our details,
toda nuestra vida.
all of our lives. They know it
Porque no, así no la pedían en el mecanismo.
because they know about that in the mechanism of protection.
Es como el equivalente al servicio de testigos protegidos de Estados
It is the equivalent of the protection custody in the United States of America.
Unidos, para que se den una idea de la magnitud de esa base de datos.
So you know the magnitude of that base, of that database. So you will know the magnitude of that database. This man has everything that he's saying, everything that this man is saying, that I got the privilege to meet him yesterday. So really nice man, really well-known man. And I approached him and I shook his hand and I said, I congratulate you for all your work. And he said, nice to meet you also, Oscar. This man has everything that he said, and he knows how to speak well in English also. Everything that he said, it is just 100% the truth. Every single word that he said. Every single thing that it came out of his statement, it is 100% accurate. Every single thing. I am also under a protection in the city of Tapachula. And this mechanism in the city of Tapachula, the way that it's working, and I have said this before, in the city of Tapachula, I have an address. And when I'm over there, the municipal police calls and they said, Mr. Ramirez, are you here? I said, yes. Can we come and you can sign this document that it makes sure that you are safe? I said, all right, yes, come in. But this is different. These cases are high-level security cases. Mine it's just a protection. It is, it has their details. But when you come to these people that they have lost, sadly, their lives, and you're speaking with another man that says, you know what, we cannot exercise our right anymore. We cannot write. We cannot do anything anymore. It tells you about the level of insecurity that journalists are living, that we are living right now in our country of Mexico. Not only journalists, reporters like myself, broadcasters like myself, writers. I'm not a writer, but writers that they do journalistic writing, graphic design, also journalists, communicators, camera guys that they work for, an anchor. All of us. It is a humongous danger what is happening right now. And it is imperative. And it is important. As I was talking to a lot of journalists yesterday when I was there, and I said, is it time for us to speak up? And they said, Blue, it is time you tell your audience. You go ahead and exercise your right and tell your audience what we are going through, please. And everything that the majority of the people that they work at another level of journalism, what their dangers that they're going through, it is just unbelievable that there's no protection whatsoever for our freedom of speech. This is not just censorship through Facebook. That is not even a comparable to what is happening right now in Mexico, where people are losing their lives. It's just horrible. Mexico, as I have said this before, and I have said this multiple times, Mexico has 5 cities on the top 5 for violence and delinquents in the world. 5 cities. And all those 5 cities, 4 of them are from Mexico. 2 of them are borders. One of them Tijuana and the other one Juarez. And they have been consistent in that place for, my God, I don't know, 3-4 years, oscillating, going up, going down, going up, going down, going up, going down, horribly. Everything is very volatile right now. It's really difficult. sensitive. And I was listening to another journalist, well-known journalist in Tijuana, and he was saying on his radio podcast, he was saying, you can breathe the air of insecurity outside. You can breathe it. And you can see it when you see your own reporter for your own network going on the ground, and he's looking to everywhere. Like he's looking over here, over here, over here. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? What's going on? Who's behind me? Very sensitive right now. You don't go alone. You have to go with somebody else. Hey, gotta go with somebody else. Hey, you working today? Yeah. Can I go with you? It is so sensitive right now. This is exactly the same situation when I work in Tapachula. I'm always riding with our colleagues, and they even tell you, don't go alone between these hours. It is difficult. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. Oscar Blue right here live, broadcasting you live from Tijuana, Mexico. It is right now 4:52 in the evening, West Coast time. And you know, this was a protest manifestation, a calling to the authorities that they want to fight. They want to find justice for the terrible murders of these two journalists that sadly they lost. You know, they lost their lives on this attempt to just, you know, one of them was accused of something that it was horrible. The other person was, you know, and it's a speculation about, you know, some political figure that it was an ex-governor of ours and that she was assassinated. Censorship, it is horrible right now on this live feed. And practically because we're talking about protest manifestation, so they possibly are going to censor the live feed and they don't let it go as it's supposed to be gone. But, you know, share this video out, like this video. Buy me a coffee is on the top link if you guys like to contribute to our travel fund. We're going to be traveling soon through Central America to bring you guys raw, uncut footage as always. Raw and uncut footage as always, as we do. Always we do this raw and uncut footage. I wanted to talk to you guys about something else that has been happening. And this has been happening because the migrants, they do not understand, and they completely intend to do this consistently. This is what is going on in Tapachula. And it hasn't stopped. The irregular migration, in a way, it does not stop. And it is just a way to just, you know, diverse into different points of inspection in the city of Tapachula. It does not stop. The way that people don't understand it, not too long ago, a month ago, there was a horrible accident in Chiapa del Corso and the road between Tapachula and Tuxtla, where 166 migrants were behind a tractor trailer and 66 of them died in a horrible accident. I've been showing you guys how consistently the smuggling in tractor trailers and also in vehicles, it has been continuing. And please, I did a report and said they don't understand or what. That is not the way. You're risking your life. You're risking your life. Anthony's on the live feed. God bless my partner, Anthony, real Anthony Owedo. Go and watch him. He's going to be live later on tonight, and he's in the Texas border right now. So subscribe to his channel, and he's going to go live later on this afternoon, possibly, to bring you guys reality and truth of the Texas border. He's live over there in Texas. So follow him at Gab, follow him at Twitter, follow him at Getter, follow him at YouTube, follow him at Twitch, at all these new platforms that he's on. So follow him, and he's going to be live later on tonight. So this is a statement from the Institute National of Immigration. This was what I'm talking about. This is a statement from the Institute National of Immigration in Chiapas that identified yesterday, late at night, 84 foreigners that they were transported in vehicles of particular use and also of public service. They were abandoned by the drivers steps away, meters away from going into an inspection point that his name is El Eden, the Eden. So this is what I'm saying. They're being smuggled across different points of Tapachula and different points of Chiapas. But the smuggler, as soon as he knows that he's going to be trapped, that he's going to be captured, he doesn't care about their lives. So he just abandons them. And it has happened so many times before when you will find migrants on the back of a tractor trailer, screaming inside because they've been there inside for hours and they cannot breathe. So they start screaming, they start hitting the doors, and all of a sudden they open the door. There's the National Guard, and they open the door and we're like, what the hell are you guys doing in here, man? Oh, we were about to get to the north, and don't arrest us, please. You were being smuggled. These are images of these 84 individuals that, sadly, they take this decision to be smuggled, and they were detained on these vehicles. Look at this. These are like cabs over there. They're taxis. And all of them, they were detained on this, they were detained by the Institute of National Immigration, and also they were detained by the National Guard. It's continuing. And it's Todd Bensman made an article that is Operation Ant operation, little by little. I said this before. They're not going to come in a big, gigantic caravan. They're going to people are going to be smuggled continuously on a slow pace, 5, 10, 100. And it is going to continue. But the thing about this is that the risk that they're taking, how they are risking their life. Ultimately, the children, the unaccompanied minors, which I shown you yesterday, facts about the Del Rio sector and also Rio Grande sector, that they have been receiving 50 unaccompanied minors every week. 50 unaccompanied minors every week. It's just, the way that this is continuing, it is so risky. A lot of people are risking their lives continuously, man. People are dying in the Darien Gap. In Mexico, they're being captured and being, captured, threatened, hold for ransom. They're making them work for the organized crime. These kind of situations continue in the South border, and also ultimately not only the South border, but Central America and South America. We are going to be traveling soon to Central America, and we are going to show you a lot of things. I have traveled to Tapachula more than almost 10 times already. I traveled to Tapachula. We're going to go further this time and show you more of what this irregular migration that is supposed to be a right to transit for everybody. But there's a process for a lot of these individuals. In the process, they don't reunite the protocols. That is, first and foremost, the protocol of the negative COVID test, vaccination card in some places. And ultimately, not only that, but also the documentation when it comes to children. So because of all these documents and all these protocols, a lot of the migrants take the route of, I don't want to show it and I'll go around it. Or I don't want to show it, I have paid a smuggler. And this is what happens right here. Continuous. It is a thing that goes on and on and on and on. Thank you so much for joining in. God bless everybody that is watching. I'm going to show you an article that it was given to me by my producer, and I will put it right now up in the I will put it right now up right here with you guys. It is an article by El Pitazo. I've been reading a lot of El Pitazo right here. And it's an article by El Pitazo who shows right here what Venezuelan people are going through right now. And this Venezuelan people, this Venezuelan frozen. This is sad, the connection. Look at this. I'm right here. I'm right here. If you see a black screen, I'm still right here. I'm still right here. So people, if we are, you know, getting a slow live feed, I'm sorry. It's not my fault. You know, it's not my fault. Let's hope that it goes back to what it was right now. So this is, my God, this is so slow. Okay. I think that here we go. Here we go. So this article was released by El Pitazo, and this is what we have been saying for the longest of time. Venezuelan people, how the way that they travel. Venezuelan people, like this video. Please like this video. Share this video out. Today I'm being censored like a mother, man. I don't know why. But I'm being censored horribly right now. So like the video, share the video. It's really bad today. I don't know what's going on. But here we go with this article that it was released by El Pitazo. And I have known so many people from Venezuela, man. So many people. I have interviewed so many people from Venezuela. And all of them, they tell us about the risks that they're taking. And all of them, they tell us about the risks that they go through in the Darien Gap and all these places, that they're horrible. This article by El Pitazo, it says, and thank you to El Pitazo for this article, it says Venezuelan cross 5 countries and dies in the border of Chile. The Venezuelan body of Edgar Zapata, 47 years old, was found in a sector that is called Pisiga Carpa, in the really close part of Colchane. This is where, hopefully, later on this year, we will, and first things God, we will accomplish to go to this border of Chile, which is just, look at this, how it is. This is a border right here between Chile and Bolivia. This is how the border is between Chile and Bolivia. How amazing that will be to bring that live broadcast, man. Holy cow. The desert between Chile and Bolivia. It says that this article says a Venezuelan migrant traveled through 5 countries and on the border between the north border between Chile and Bolivia, it was found, the body was found of Edgar Zapata, 47 years of age, between the parts of Colchane, 3,700 meters away from the sea level. The temperatures, high level temperatures, and also the heat is one of the things that they exposed to, and also cold, heat, all these weather conditions. So that is the leftists and the Democrats use this ideology because of climate change, and they say that climate change has to do with this. So they use that factor to release trillions and trillions, right? So what they say is like, oh no, they're migrating through all these climate changes. No, it is not climate change. It's just the way that the weather is on certain parts. Like, oh my God, they're migrating to Tapachula, and look at that climate change. It was a thunderstorm, and it was humidity, and then it's hot, and then it's dark, and then it's, cloudy. That's the way it is in Tapachula. The weather has been like that for the longest of time since existence. Oh my God, climate change in between Chile and the borders of Colchane and Bolivia. The weather is so hot and it's just a desert. Now it's raining. That's the way it is, and it has been for the longest of time. It's not climate change. It's just the weather like it is in those areas. So they make this idea and this excuse and this, they create this bubble, which is for them a bubble of, because of climate change, people are migrating massively. You can understand what is going on in Haiti, that there was an earthquake and there was a tsunami. I understand that. You can understand in Honduras that there's a city where it was a plague of this mosquito, dengue, that it was penetrating, the whole jungle areas and all this kind of stuff. And you will see like, okay, now I see why. But you're trying to implement now in the whole world that because of climate change, people are migrating. And you're blaming different climates. Imagine they're going to say what they're going to say about Arizona. Because of Arizona, it is really hot on the summer. So it is a change of weather and this needs to change. And it is because of the weather. The people are migrating and dying sadly on Arizona. It is a desert. What do you expect? I'm just saying, it is a desert. It is hot. In Tapachula, people migrate sadly, and I saw that, and it was one of the most hurtful days of me walking with caravans. It was the most hurtful day of me walking with caravans. It was a caravan that it was the 23rd of October, and it was a place between Madre Vieja and Mapastepec. It was the most horrible dream that I cannot get out of my head. When I saw children crying, I saw children dehydrating, I saw children getting wet, I saw, women pregnant walking with no shoes. I remember that, and that stays in my head. That was not climate change, people. That was the weather as how it is in those areas, because it's jungle, it's humidity. It is that. Those are the risks that they take with climate changes, weather changing because of those areas. So people get sick. Inevitably, yes, the sensitivity of migrants getting sick, it is a reality. They get sick. Imagine one day let's say you're crossing through Tapachula of humidity, Panama. Let's say you're crossing through Panama, and then you get to Costa Rica and it's hot. Then you get to Nicaragua, and Nicaragua is cold. Then you get to Honduras, and Honduras is hot again. Then you get to Guatemala, and it's raining. Then you get to Tapachula, and it's hot. What do you think people are going to get sick? The body cannot handle all those weather changes. Not climate change, weather. Climate change, and thank you, it does not mean the changes of weather and hot and cold weather. But they're blaming climate for all the natural disasters that they have happened. So because of natural disasters, supposedly in Honduras, supposedly in Guatemala, natural disasters, and also in Costa Rica, natural disasters in Panama, natural disasters in all this kind of stuff. Because of all of that, people are getting out. It's really illogical. Really illogical. Let's find the solution. Why people migrate. It is really simple. Really simple. And I will tell you why people are migrating. Get your climate change ideology out of the box. All these environmentalists, man. I know about contamination with vehicles. You're not going to tell me. I have 2 certifications on environmental assets on vehicles. I know that there is an actual problem, and whatever you like it or not, there is a problem with contamination in gasoline and vehicles in the world. Yes, there is. China is number 1, and the United States is number 2 on contamination of hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide, and carbon monoxide and hydrocarbons. It is the highest level. These 2 countries have it. It is a reality. But it has nothing to do with climate change. Don't try to bring it to me. People are migrating in third world class countries because of poverty, number 1. 2, violence. 3, insecurity. 4, infrastructure and lack of opportunities to education for their children. 5, health system. Those are the priorities of what they are migrating. They don't have opportunities in their countries to work. If they had a job which it paid good, they provide a good living for it. the corruption that exists, which they are being, like what is going on in Venezuela, that they are being censored, taking away their rights, making them live as a fourth world country now, getting these communistic ideologies for them to understand that they depend on the state, that they cannot be dependable on themselves. So you become an incompetent individual who does not rely on education, does not think that he's capable of going out and working and providing a better life for your family. But now they're trying to bring climate change. No. These are the number one priorities why people migrate. It's another way to control with climate change. It's a number way to control climate change. Somebody saying, no, the USA is not too. Show me your statistic and show me your source, which is saying that the U.S. is not number 2. I can show you a lot of articles where in the U.S. The U.S. of A. is the number 2 that is contaminating more in terms to hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide, and carbon dioxide. In terms to vehicle emissions. I don't want to bring that up because it gets me to another level that I have to bring all kind of stuff. So why they are blaming this now? This is one of the things that we are going to Central America to show you this. If it is a reality that because of this climate change, it is affecting people, I will immediately accept it. I'm that type of guy. You guys know me. I'm that type of guy that it will be like, all you right-wing people are going to be mad at me, but this is what is happening, and I'm here to show it. This is a natural disaster that occurred because of this, and that, and people got out of their city and they don't know where to go. So I will tell you that, and everybody's going to be like, that is not our fault. That is not our responsibility. We don't care. I'm just showing you the facts. Why? I know you're feeling, and I know what you're feeling. My job is to document and report. I'm here to report. I'm biased. Here to report it. Be impartial. Here to be reported. Be objective in one way. So this is what it is. So let us show those facts when we go to these countries. India has terrible air also. Oh, yeah. Taiwan also. It's a lot of the, and a lot of people don't know this, but the motorcycles contaminate more than motor vehicles. It's because of the accelerations that they do. The accelerations that you do, it is where it contaminates more. And also, ultimately, if you have it sounds the study itself. When you analyze all of this, in particular cities, when it has a lot of stoplights, when you have a lot of stop signs, and when you have a lot of bumps, is where it contaminates the more. You contaminate more. It is it has to do with this theory that gas, petroleum and gas, gasoline stations or gasoline companies, they use that strategy for acceleration and decrease. So every time you stop, you accelerate, you stop, and then you accelerate, you contaminate. It is the exhaustion that contaminates. How's everybody doing? 54 minutes in. God bless everybody that is watching. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News, correspondent for Real America's Voice News and Wendy Bell Radio Network. Possibly next week, we are going to be going live on the Wendy Bell Radio Network app. I will be going live there. I don't know what time. I'm trying to get a good, juicy live feed so Wendy can have all the, the good stuff also. She can have all the good stuff. So please download the app. It is free. Download the app. It is free. Wendy Bell Radio Network. Go to the App Store right now and download the app. It is free, people. You're not going to waste any time. You don't waste any time. Go over there. Just type Wendy Bell Radio app. Wendy Bell Radio Network. Wendy Bell Radio Network. Download it, get it in your phone, and then you're gonna have you go on the web page, and then you will see you go on the app, and then you will see contributors. So you're gonna see correspondence. And you're gonna see right there Oscar Blue, and also Jason, the producer, is putting some videos of mine over there in that app. It's pretty cool. Go over there and download the app. I will accept a couple of questions or a couple of comments if you guys want to throw one out there. If you want to throw one out there, we got 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Wendy Bell Radio Network. Yes, that's the way. Agua de Jamaica. Wendy Bell Radio Network. Yes, that's the way. Whatever comment, question you guys want to ask. I know that I have a delay, so that's why I stay silent and I wait sometimes for people to come in and ask me a lot of stuff. And sometimes people get a little bit upset. They're like, you cut the live feed and I just asked a question. I'm sorry, there's a delay, so I'm just waiting for you guys to throw me your questions, and I will immediately answer you guys. Thank you so much for downloading the app. Thank you so much. So I will wait for some questions right here. Meanwhile, the delay goes in. Good evening to everybody. It is now 5:18 West Coast time in the evening over here. This is right here. And this is a really interesting question, and I have the information for that. Hold on 1 second. I believe that this is him. Hold on 1 minute right here. Yeah. Not only that is visiting, but he visited. This photo was given to me by Jose Torres. Let me remove this right here. I will bring you that, and I will elaborate on that for a little bit. The King of Spain visiting several different countries, and he visited Honduras. And there's a photo of the King of Spain visiting Honduras. I'm trying to bring this photo into the live feed so you guys can see it. This is a photo of our colleague and friend journalist, Jose Torres, that ultimately he gets a lot of information. Eric Jones is saying, what is happening in Venezuela? I will get into that. Let me just elaborate on this. Now the questions are coming in. This is the King of Spain visiting the Venezuela. So yes, Spain does that a lot. They visit various countries. I don't know what is the consistency, and I don't know what is the purpose of visiting. I don't know, trade, support, in a way to create a better relationship. Those are the factors possibly that I can elaborate, and I can tell you that why. Okay, let me just right here. Okay, Eric, it says, what is happening in Venezuela? There is very little mention of the country in the news. They will not mention it. It's exactly what is happening in Cuba. They will never mention what is going on over there. The information, it is oppressed, and it is a really difficult place to exercise your freedom of speech. Venezuela, it is a full-on communist country, and it has the control of the social media, mainstream media, and it has control of communications. That is one of the things from socialism to communism, that the control of communications. That is the reason why. Let me see another question. I'm going little by little right here. Hopefully I will not jump from one place to another. And a lot of people are saying no mention of Cuba. Yes, but, it's so funny because uh, you're seeing how what happened in Cuba not too long ago. It was months ago, where people were rising against Diaz-Canel, right? And people were rising against Diaz-Canel. People were against Diaz-Canel and all this kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, it all watered down. And why it watered down? Everybody's asking this question: what happened? And it is just, Diaz-Canel, there's actual videos of people being disappeared. People disappeared because they were recording with their phone, and they were recording actually how the military, the dictator military of Diaz-Canel was going to every address to take out people who were recording on the phone, and by any means they were sending this material to their family members in the U.S. As soon as that material was in the U.S., it is just flabbergasted. It went all over the place. So that's the reason why Diaz-Canel was sending his military to to every single home to take away their only means of communication, that it was their phone. The only way that they have to defend themselves is with a stick and a stone against the military that is their artillery. It is just, what can I say? That's the whole difference of a communist country in terms to us. Thank you so much for joining in. God bless every single one of you. I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News, correspondent for Real America's Boys News and the Wendy Bell Radio Network. Thank you so much. We will be traveling soon through Central America, as I am being told. So thank you for all your support. There is a gold right there on Buy Me a Coffee. You guys like to support my travel fund, you can go over there and contribute for us to be, ready, entirely ready. And ultimately, if we can reach the goal, we can go another place also. We can reach another place also. So it will be a full-on travel, man. It's just, I love, walking and boots on the ground. That is where, that is where we shine. That is our main reporting. Show a raw, uncut video for every single one of you. So it is a pleasure for me to do that. I love my job, and I will continue to exercise and do my job as we are fighting against freedom of speech. We're fighting against this horrible situation which is happening right now in our country of Mexico, where voices are being silenced. And in a horrible way, they are being assassinated. Journalists are being assassinated. God bless all the journalists that we have a great relationship with over here in Tijuana, not only in Tijuana, across the country, and in Tapachula specifically also. God bless every single one of them, that they're going out there and exercising their right and also doing their job as reporting on the floor and on the ground, and ultimately also reporters in the U.S. But, mostly in Tijuana, I want to say, do not be afraid. Be courageous. We have a right. It is Article 7 of our Constitution that gives us that right to express and to say and to communicate and to fight and to expose and to say the truth in communications with all ultimate professionalism and ethic. But ultimately, we still have that right. If we give it away, they will have control of us. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Freedom of speech, ultimately, for every single country. Stay safe. And like we always say, people, peace and love, because always your country's first. God bless.
Y ya van días y varias semanas.
He hasn't given no response, and it's been days and it's been weeks, and here. What do you think, Sarah, this canyon right here?
It's absolutely incredible. I haven't been to Tijuana in a lot of years, and seeing how wide open it is. I mean, I don't know if you could turn the camera around and show everyone Just how wide open it is. It's incredible.
Couple of questions. No. Rashida, what is your opinion on the massive child trafficking that is happening?
Y espero logren su objetivo de la justicia a su país. Luchen por su país. Say the basically fight for your country.
Están bloqueando el acceso. ¡Viva! La Policía Federal o la autoridad nos está deteniendo el acceso y nos está deteniendo el paso para poder cruzar hacia el Zócalo, señores.